Welcome back, Patriots, for another episode of the Bald Brad Show. It is Tuesday. I woke up today thinking it was Wednesday. That's okay. The day moves forward. Nonetheless, couldn't be happier than spend this fine morning each morning. 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time with all of you. I appreciate you waiting around for the show to start. Turns out OBS, my streaming software, wanted me to download a new version of C++, a Visual C++, and it took longer than expected. So we're sitting here, we're ready to go, baby. So let's jump right into the news of the day. And I figured, why not just start with Democrat stupidity? And you might be thinking, Brad, don't we cover Democrat stupidity every single day? Yes, sir. Yes, we do. But this one, it's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen something this bonkers. So, New York governor, you guys are gonna love this. I couldn't be more excited to show you. Kathy Hochul proposes sending inflation refund checks to residents. I'm not kidding. This was breaking news yesterday. New York Governor Kathy Hochul is proposing. Now let's zoom in on this. It's early in the morning, folks. Get your cup of coffee if you have to. But she's proposing sending refund checks to millions of residents next year to counter inflation. I'm all for giving American people their money back, but if you're doing it for the purposes of counting, like combating inflation, there's a problem with that thinking, and it's a pretty big problem. So don't just take it from the news site. Let's take it from the horse's mouth right here.
My budget next month. They will send you a check to buy your groceries for a month or whatever you want to spend it on. And if you're an individual earning up to $150,000 a year, it's $300. What does that look like? All right. How about that for individuals? Now, if you're filing jointly and you have a family, you need a little more, right? Families are expensive. How about this? $500. $500. For families earning less than $300,000, because I know life in
This is real. This is real.
New York City is expensive, and your salaries may sound nice, but they don't go very far. In my budget.
Can we just look at these checks real quick? Look at the gap. This is how bad Democrat cities are ran, you guys. This is how bad things have gotten, where you have to be stoked. You are thanking the heavens for a $300 check come back. That's how bad things have gotten. Now, do people deserve their money based on the budget? Absolutely. I'm not complaining. But for the purposes to combat inflation, that's what you're going to do. It's just, there's something about it. There's something about it that just doesn't make sense. But why would it? Why would it to them? It is a really remarkable thing. And I think one of the biggest people I've heard recently kind of coming out against the Democrat Party, of which they belong to, is Anna Kasparian of the Young Turks. I mean, you guys, watching her really just, I don't know if she's having a red pill moment or like a wake up moment, but it's pretty a remarkable thing to see her kind of come to light and to see what's going on. And she said full-fledged to Glenn Beck, I believed in the mainstream media. I believed in their nonsense. And even he was kind of shocked. And it was kind of circling around illegal immigration that she didn't think it was as bad as it was because of the mainstream media where she's getting her news from. And I thought it was a lot of respect for her at least saying something like that. But, this is a great photo of the Democrat Party and their mindset right here. The real virus affecting America. this is a great picture. I love how they throw Mitt Romney in there. Jerry Nadler. This guy's terrible. Adam Schiff, he's corrupt. Chuck Schumer, he sucks. Nancy Pelosi leading the brigade. They're all terrible. Yeah, I think that's Rashida Tlaib. I can't really tell. But, my book was almost called this, Infecting or Mind Virus. But we changed it to Trojan Horse, How the Left is Destroying America. And it's an appropriate title. Check it out on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. The holiday season is here, folks. So there's Kathy Hochul saying that she's going to sit there and combat inflation by giving people refund checks. Clearly doesn't know what the hell inflation means. Now, the other big news that a lot of people are talking about is the assassination the assassination of that United Healthcare CEO. And the big news of the day was them catching the alleged murderer, the guy that did the assassination. So they got the guy, 26-year-old, was charged with criminal possession of a weapon, loaded firearm, possession of a forged instrument, and criminal possession of a weapon, firearm silencer, in the brazen December 4th shooting death of Brian Thompson. Now, this is the dude. And, for legal purposes, we got to be careful here. But the alleged murder, the guy that went there, the police officer took this murderer, and it's not even worth saying this scumbag's name, into custody, if it truly is him, after an employee and a customer at a McDonald's in the town thought he looked like the suspect on a wanted poster and called authorities. Isn't that amazing that when you blast somebody's photo all over the internet, all over the airwaves, national TV, and it's only like a sliver of their face, and somebody's just sitting there, just racking the fries, fuck, I can't stay any longer, it's so bad, right? Salting them, and you're just looking over going, is that the guy? Hey, come here. Yeah. Burger, double quarter pounder, fries up. Hey, is that the guy from United? Is that the guy that killed that guy? Yeah. I mean, it's a remarkable thing if you think about it, right? You're sitting there just racking fries and burgers. And I think that's the guy that killed the one dude. Amazing. Asked him to remove his face covering. So I guess he had a face covering at the restaurant too. They recognized him as the suspect wanted for questioning in the Thompson's murder. So McDonald's, look, I'm going to spot this out. Donald Trump worked at McDonald's for 15 minutes and made McDonald's great again. So much so that now not only are they serving crispy fries, mega fries, baby, but they're also catching murderers now. That's the impact Donald Trump has on things, folks. He goes and works at McDonald's, and not only are they making the crispiest of fries, they're catching murderers now. Everything Donald Trump touches turns to gold. Case in point. Well, the police initially took this dude into custody on charges unrelated to Thompson's murder, possession of an unlicensed firearm, providing false identification to police, and forgery. Now, it doesn't surprise me that this part happened. The reason why is they found Monopoly money in his backpack, if you recall. Now, his family said in a statement Monday night that they are shocked and devastated by his arrest. Now, I'm sure there is some sort of probably meditation that should happen here of, that time in 5th grade when he sat there and beat the shit out of his teacher with the freaking light pole. That might have been it. Yeah, we should have maybe focused on that. When he sat there and started drug dealing at the age of 9 to everybody on the playground. Yeah, that might have been a sign. When he sat there and started sitting there talking to people that didn't exist and saying crazy nonsense. Yeah, we probably should have focused on that one too. There's usually signs when this stuff, I'm not saying every single time, of course not. But if you have what seems to be premeditated murder, where you sat there outside the hotel, allegedly, from what bystanders were saying, for hours on end, waiting for somebody, and then you have a firearm, a silencer, you're covering your face, right? Your getaway, all these things. You're psycho. psycho. We only know what we have read in the media, the statement said. Our family is shocked and devastated of this dude's death. Arrest. We offer our prayers to the family of Brian Thompson, and we ask to pray for all involved. We are devastated by this news. I mean, nice of the family to come out and at least acknowledge the media. But, the sad thing is a lot of people are going to start sitting there, targeting the family. Like, it's your son. How could you do this? How could you let this happen? The dude's an adult. He sat there and did something, one of the most evil things you could do, if not the most evil thing. I say one of the most, right? Because blasphemy God is really one of the most evil things you could do. Some say it's even one of the unforgivable sins. But that's here nor there. You also have this right here, where United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, suspected killer, expresses disdain for the health insurance industry. And there we go. I was waiting for it too. These psychos always have a manifesto, right? They always have some sort of writing because they're psycho. This dude, the assassin, had a handwritten manifesto right there for you that they cared only about immense profit at the expense of Americans. I mean, there's some truth to that. Absolutely. But just because something's true doesn't give you the right to go shoot somebody in the back and kill them. So that thinking is all twisted. There's more to this. There has to be more to this because it doesn't add up, right? You don't get pissed to the point where because an insurance company is sitting there and trying to produce some sort of profit that then you're going to go kill said CEO and shoot him in the back and murder him. No. There's more to this that I'm waiting for. There's more. There has to be more to this manifesto. There has to be, because it's 2.5 pages. It says right here, health insurance business in the 2.5-page manifesto address the feds. Now, I'm going to give you just off what I've read in real time with you, because again, this is all reactionary commentary. This isn't me sitting there going, okay, let's piece the puzzle together beforehand. It says United Healthcare, as one of the biggest companies in the U.S. market capitalization, and slammed the health insurance business in the 2.5-page manifesto addressed to the feds and recovered by investigators during his arrest Monday. Now, when I hear him going after the insurance company for wanting to maximize profits, it's not about whether you agree or not agree with it, but it goes, I think, deeper into maybe this guy is a lefty and doesn't like capital markets, capitalistic society, and sitting there and trying to push for a profit. The reality is these companies have gotten too powerful and they continue to abuse our country for immense. There you go. Immense. It writes itself. It writes itself. Immense profit. There you go. You don't hear stuff like that from a conservative, do you? No. You don't hear that from a Republican generally. Sometimes you will, where somebody maybe bought insulin and sat there and jacked up the price like 500%. That's not exactly the smart thing to do. Could you do it? Sure. He apologized for any trauma he inflicted, likely alluding to his alleged execution-style shooting of Thompson 50, but said it had to be done. So this is where you get into really scary territory with these psychos, because they'll sit there and try to rationalize their behavior as if they're doing it for some sort of justice out there, some sort of cosmic justice that's going to sit there and fix everything. Cool. I do apologize for any strife of traumas, but it had to be done, he wrote, according to sources. Frankly, these parasites simply had it coming. When you see parasites, that's a phrase or word. This whole sentence, very similar to something the left said. Now, if this guy voted Republican and conservative, I would fall over in my chair. Now, it doesn't always have to be political, right? You always don't have to tie to, well, how come it has to be left and right? Well, because the left sit there and complain about capitalism. They sit there and say that it's terrible. They want to sit there and bring in socialism. And that's why you have Antifa that sit there and come out and beat the crap out of people all the time. This is what the left does. They sit there and go after businesses. They sit there and degrade people's artwork for the environment. They do all sorts of nutso things. So yeah, in some way, shape, or form, you could tie this back to politics. Let's see what else it says, because maybe I'm wrong. He was charged with murder, blah, blah, blah. The writings bear a resemblance to an Ivy League grad's online Online anti-capitalist ramblings on sites like Goodreads and X. I'm really waiting for something here that just nails it home. In an April tweet, he quoted about Huxley's Brave New World, a critique of capitalism. It just keeps getting better for us, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Hand to God, I have not read this. Hand to God, I have not read this. The Borgies and how class groupings are indoctrinated in society. Let's see, he quoted the infamous anti-establishment Unabomber, who's also anti-establishment. Imagine a society that subjects people to conditions that make them terribly unhappy, then gives them the drugs to take away their unhappiness. There is truth to that, by the way. There is truth to that we over-medicate people for sure. But it doesn't give you a right to freaking go and shoot somebody and kill them. So, shout out to the people working at McDonald's for spotting this guy. And like I said, Donald Trump makes McDonald's great again. So crispiest of fries and also catching killers. So, hope you guys appreciate that story. And that's the updates on what's going on with that killer. And, you know, I think that it's also a top story because people are into true crime stuff. You know what I mean? It's a really big market. And I think that's one of the reasons why not only is this gaining traction, but also it's caught on film. You know, they blast it over the airwaves. Oh, there's a manhunt. And everybody gets to feel involved in something like that, where you're looking out for the guy and you're like, okay, authorities said he left New York City. Maybe he's in my city. And then you start walking the streets, right? You got your mag light on. You know what I mean? You're huffing and puffing because you're out of shape. You're walking the neighborhood, thinking you're part of the neighborhood watch. All of a sudden, after the fact that you just spent years bitching about them, and I'm going to get this guy. I'm going to get him. I got to get this guy. Everybody wants to feel a part of something. You know what I mean? And case in point, us here, we're a part of something. We're part of the patriot movement here as conservatives, as Republicans, and a lot of independents in the chat. So we're a part of something. We're making a difference here. Well, people who think they're making a difference, and I guess in some way, shape, or form they are, but they're really just making people dumber. That would be the women on The View. So Ana Navarro and Whoopi Goldberg, I guess they got into a little toughie. They got into a little bit of a heated exchange on The View over whether it's time to panic about Trump. Now, I have the clip in a moment. But The View co-host Whoopi Goldberg and Ana Navarro got into a heated exchange Monday on whether it's time to start panicking about President-elect Donald Trump's return to the Oval Office. Goldberg set off the anti-Trump Republican strategist after suggesting the viewers should spend the holidays and the 6 weeks leading up to the inauguration with their families or working, but not in a frenzy over the incoming administration. I don't think these people are aware that the entire United States is red. Like, yeah, you have the coastal areas. Those are pretty much always blue. But isn't it crazy? Can I just go back to this, you guys? Isn't it crazy that she's allegedly a Republican strategist? Lady, the Republican Party loves Trump. Like, what? Why would you go to her for strategy if she's anti-Trump? Everybody voted for this guy. What is she talking about? Just that alone blew my mind, right? Blew my mind. So here she is. Ana Navarro, we got the Whoopi Goldberg. I want to see if we can get this maybe full screen.
He makes lots and lots and lots of noise. He says he's going to do all these things, and he does this, and I try to say it at least once a week. He does this to keep you all in a panic. He does it to make you all do this and talk about him, and it's so terrible. But we have to do from now until January 21st is be with our families, be with our kids, do our jobs, make sure our checks don't bounce, make sure that we are taking care of ourselves and our families. Whatever he's going to do, he's going to do, but do take our word for it. Things seem to move slowly because, yeah, they didn't come get Hillary. But he has other people who are ready to go. But I don't think that they can just go out and do what they want to do.
I told you last week I disagree with you when you say that. Because we have the luxury of saying that. because we're legal, we are successful, we are. But if
Listen,
you're an illegal
listen.
immigrant in this country, you're not going to be not in a panic.
I'm-
if you are
well,
a
that-
woman working for the Department of Defense, you have a right to be in
Anna,
a panic.
You tell people to stay fraught and like this. That
No,
is
I'm
not.
telling people to prepare, Whoopi.
They
I'm
are
telling
pre-
people,
Do you
telling
think
people
they're not
to prepare.
prepared? They are
Oh,
prepared.
right. So that
And
means
I'm saying
that
to
means
people,
that they can be relaxing and enjoying
no,
Christmas
it
when,
doesn't mean that.
when winter is
no,
coming.
it does. You know what? I'm sorry.
I mean, I disagree.
Winter is here.
Right.
Winter's been with us, and my point is, we can lay down and do nothing for the next 15 days, and then be freaking out for the next 4 or
but
2
my
years.
point to you is
But
we
my
are
point,
in a privileged position that a lot of
I have
people
a
who are going to be
I have
under
a
his
family
attack
who
are
is
not.
going through the same thing.
I want his
Anna,
enemies
calm
listening.
down.
I'm not panicking.
Yeah.
Like, we just have to
We
live.
got it.
You
We
have
have
to
to figure
live.
out
This is
what
the
we're
United
panicking
States of
for.
This is
America.
crazy.
We don't know what we're panicking for. They're throwing 50,000 things at you to make you do this. I'm saying don't buy into that.
Live your
do what
life.
you have to do. Take care of your family. And when we know what is happening, when we know what we're fighting, we'll get out and fight. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't do anything. I'm saying don't be this, because nobody can do
I
it.
think
Would
people
you
need
like
to
us to
prepare.
stop? Would you like us to stop? All right, we'll be right back.
Jesus, can you? I'm amazed that one, this show is actually on air, and two, that people watch it. A lot of nothing was said. Well, you should be freaking out if you're an illegal immigrant. Yes, like, shouldn't you be like, you sat here, knowingly came into a country of which you're not supposed to be in, and then you're going to be shocked when the consequences happen that you're going to get removed because you're not supposed to be here. Can we just stop acting stupid all the time? God. Not you guys, you know, I'm talking about the Democrats and the left that can't sit there and freaking piece things together. Why do we act stupid, Democrats? Left? When you go, oh, well, God forbid there's consequences. Yeah, it's called following the freaking law. We all have to do it. And for some reason, they just sit there and we have to treat everybody differently because they broke the law. They literally said so. They said so the other week. We covered it. That the Hunter Biden. They said because Hunter. I'm being a good boy. Because they said Hunter Biden was an addict, he should be treated differently. What? You could sit there and make that argument about anything then. So everybody should be treated differently. If I was to go in a bank vault and start standing there and I don't belong there and I'm an American citizen, do you think I should be removed? That I'm in somebody's bank vault and I have no business being there? Should I be removed? Yes, sir. And do you think if I was standing in said bank vault and I knew that I was illegally there and I should not have been there, do you think I should be shocked when I'm forcibly removed from said bank vault because I don't belong there? Yeah. It's just unbelievable. Oh, they should be worried. Yes, they should be worried because Trump is going to sit there and deport your ass because some of you are murdering and raping people. And we've had enough of it. So much so that people swung from Democrat to the Republican Party because they've had enough of it. And I've had enough of it. It's so frustrating. And every time I talk about illegal immigration, I talk about deporting people, I talk about all this stuff that's obvious, YouTube sits there and censors the crap out of us. And it's frustrating because it's obvious. It's all obvious. I know you guys see it. I appreciate you listening. Yeah, I mean, there you go. So Lulu said part of it. I blame them for our price of meds going up. I mean, a lot of everything. I don't know if that's attributed to what I'm talking about here, but yeah. Your housing's going up, your rent's going up, right? Because you're competing against all these other people that are now sitting there fighting for the same product and service that you are. Oh, no, it's not real. It's not how things work. But don't worry, Kathy Hochul is going to send everybody $300 to combat inflation. My son, who is 5 years old, said, Mom, you are texting Bald Brad Show. LOL, he is watching the show with me. So watch my language is what you're saying. Gotcha. That's going to be my New Year's goal for one of them. We got a lot of stuff coming for the show next year, hopefully. One of them is for me to not cuss because I know people keep saying their kids are watching. I want to be a good influence. So I'm going to watch my mouth. I said I would already try to do that, but I get ramped up. You guys ramp me up. All right, well, moving into the next episode here. Next episode, Jesus, I'm all over the place. The next segment, we got Scott Jennings, baby. Now, we needed something to cleanse our palate after that debacle on The View, that bleep show. See, look at how good I'm doing already. CNN Scott Jennings nukes Joe Biden from orbit over pardons. So this just came out, and we love Scott here. Scott's great. So let's see Scott Jennings doing the Lord's work here on CNN. And folks, Scott Jennings has been slapping the host of CNN around all year. That's good. Here we go.
It was a total disgrace. He's leaving office in disgrace because of this pardon. And it's not just the pardon, it's the lying. Lied to the American people. According to NBC News, he and his top aides hatched a plan to lie to the American people. And then this week, he didn't even have the guts to go out to the White House podium and take questions about it. He sent Karine Jean-Pierre out there, who was also a part of the lying. And then she continued to gaslight the American people and the media. The American people ought to be pissed, but the media, the people who cover this White House, ought to be absolutely livid at the gaslighting and then the continued gaslighting and the hostility towards the idea of transparency. This is a monumental disgrace. You think 38, 39% job approval is low? Wait until we test him as he leaves office. He's going out of office as one of the least liked and most divisive presidents we've ever had.
This should look familiar. Oh, that's somebody from The View. Somebody from The View's there, folks. Okay. Thank you, Scott, for bringing a sense of logic, rationale to a station that doesn't know what it is. And that when Scott presents it to them, they all sit there and start spazzing out and short-circuiting because somebody's actually bringing truth to a place that's filled with lies. It's like when Jesus sits there and goes to the pits of hell, you know, the demons and everybody bow down to him and start spazzing out, some of them. That's basically what happened. Now, I'm not calling Scott Jennings Jesus, okay? Because some people misunderstand what I'm saying. And we might as well address, we have a subscriber. Love you. Thank you for watching. But he wrote in a comment. And the comment yesterday was surrounding the idea of when I was talking about Donald Trump getting work done while golfing. And it was circulating around the segment of Syria and how Joe Biden was mumbling and fumbling with a teleprompter through talking about Syria. And then the Democrats are all shocked that when things happen in Syria or Russia invades Ukraine or China wants to take over Taiwan and all these things happen through a show of force, well, because you have a president that's weak and can't sit there and actually read from a teleprompter, why would you not sit there and take the mile when you only gave him an inch? So my conversation was merely bringing up the point of what Democrats say about Donald Trump. They said when he was elected president, because I got to explain this because some people just missed it, and that's okay, is Donald Trump could sit there and get work done on the golf course because they hit the guy and they hounded the guy for golfing all the time. So I was just presenting what people say about Donald Trump in the past, but this viewer thought that I was talking about negotiating, getting stuff done about Syria, and he said, oh, people are dying. Come on, man, Trump 2024. Yeah, I hate to say it. Look, just because somebody's a subscriber, no shit. I was merely bringing up the fact and making a comparison that why the fuck are they not sitting there complaining about Joe Biden going on vacation for 40% of his presidency and not getting anything done, but yet want to rip Trump a new asshole for sitting there going golfing and getting negotiations done on a small level? Of course, I'm not talking about sitting there solving world conflicts on the golf course. Come on. Come on. I've always said this, if I have to sit there and explain things that plainly, this ain't the show for you. This ain't the show for you. Again, I don't do this as a career. That's the nice thing. I'm kind of hounding my own followers. But if you're not one of those people, then you don't need to listen in terms of, well, I can read between the lines. I get it. It's just not a show for you then. The show, the people that we got here, we got a good following and they get it. The Patriots get it. Does that make sense? Am I out of line here? You guys let me know. And I'm mostly talking to everybody that's in here every single day, pretty much. Can you guys let me know? Is that a little much? Was I a little harsh right now? Yeah, sorry, way to dial back the cussing. Yeah, my bad. But it's true. Like, come on, man. It get, I'm not saying it's tiring, but it's like, you got to really sit there and spoon feed everything that you say. Like, the reason why I bring this up is, and I'm going on a side tangent here. I want to use this time first because I need your guys' not advice, but your opinion on this. The reason why I wanted to bring this up is because the bigger that you get, the more you have to watch what you say. You know what I mean? And your words have more of an influence. I've been getting away with saying a lot of things because I don't have a huge following. Some people would look at like, dude, you have almost 70,000 subscribers. You have a huge following. Yeah, but not like in that regard. So the more that you get popular, right, you have to watch what you say. But my thing is do I need to be more clear? You guys let me know. And then I will be. And that might be even on the Syria thing. Let me know. Do I need to be more clear? Yes or no? You guys let me know in the chat. Okay. People say no. Nope. Your show. Don't hold back. All right. Well, let me know. Sometimes you got to take a moment and check in with the Patriots, right? Because the show's for you guys. Do you know what I mean? I do it for the Patriots, baby. I mean, I do it to hang out. I do it for me too, but yeah, Brad said S. Yeah, my bad. Hey, we lasted all about 5 minutes. No, really, I'm gonna get this. You know what's weird? I don't cuss all that much in real life, but when I get ramped up, sometimes there's no better word to describe like emotion and raw feeling than that. But when I hear somebody else cuss, I'm like, probably not the best thing to do. And I don't want to sit there and be a hypocrite. Rumble is working. I'm watching myself on Rumble right now. Rumble is working. Might just have to refresh. No, you're loud and clear. Okay. All right, man. Works for me. Now, that one guy that subscribed, he probably unsubscribed, but hey, you know what? More power to you. That's what you do. But hey, you know what? At least I address my viewers and my subscribers. But I just thought it was crazy. Like, why would you sit there and think that Donald Trump should be making full-fledged negotiations on the golf course with a cigar? Could you do that? Sure. Actually, that's fine. But sitting there like, oh, well, sometimes, can I just say something? Sometimes look throughout history. Like, look at like Churchill. Churchill will just sit there and go have a cigar and a freaking large stogie and hash shit out. I'm not saying he's on a golf course, but some people just have their methods of doing things, and they can sit there and resolve difficult problems relatively with ease because they're familiar with said place that they put themselves in to fix said problems that are difficult. So maybe Donald Trump could figure out a lot of crap on the golf course, working with other people and actually resolving some huge conflicts by doing so. There's a lot of business decisions that have been made on a golf course. Anybody in business knows this. I'm talking multi-million-dollar deals on a golf course. Now, but because you talk about war and all this other stuff, you can't do that. Something I want to talk about here is Doge. I love saying it. I just love it. I'm still waiting for Trump to say it. Mr. President, can you say it? Trump reveals conservative warrior attorney will work closely with Doge. I love it. Yes. So President-elect Donald Trump announced Monday that he intends to have Mark, is it Paoletta? Is that how you say last name? Serve another stint as the top lawyer at the Office of Management and Budget. Can I, you know what? Hold on one second. I want to see if this is the guy I'm referring, if I'm thinking of, because if it is, okay, it's not. Never mind. All right, never mind. I thought it was somebody else. In the role, Paoletta will help out the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, a new project headed by Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy to aim to cut down on waste. Now that makes sense, right? I mean, you would hope that Donald Trump would have the guy that's running the Office of Management and Budget working in line with the people who are about to just sit there and slash the crap out of the budget. Now, I'm pleased to announce that Mark Paoletta will be returning as general counsel of the Office of Management and Budget. Trump said in a post on Truth Social, Mark will work closely with our DOGE team to cut the size of our bloated government bureaucracy and root out wasteful and anti-American spending. Absolutely love it. Big changes coming, not just for the government, but also for the country, headed by yours truly, Donald J. Trump. Some other things that are happening here with the selections and Trump news is Tuberville sounds off on Republicans opposing Trump picks. The American people have gave a mandate. Correct. And this kind of goes in line with what we were talking about on The View, where the viewer's sitting there and she's Anna Navarro is an anti-Trump strategist. And she's sitting there saying all these bad things about Trump. People voted for the guy in huge numbers. And it just so happens that the states that didn't vote for him, ended up going blue, are also no voter ID states. Every state that voted for Joe Biden, every single one that got the electorals in those states was a no voter ID state. Makes me wonder if you had to show ID, what would have happened then? If you were willing to clean up your voter registration rolls full-fledged, makes me wonder, Donald Trump could have very well swept the United States. So if it's the American people that gave him the mandate and said, I trust this guy to lead the country. I saw what he did before. I may have not voted for him in the past. I did, and I always brag about that. I voted for him 3 times. Not many people could say that. Well, give the guy the authority to sit there and run the show the way he wants. So Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville argued Monday that his Republican Senate colleagues who oppose President-elect Donald Trump's nominees are defying the wishes of our constituents. Correct. Thank you. And you know what? I'm going to find out who all these people are. If they want to sit there and vote against Pete Hegseth, I want to know all these people. And then what we'll do as a community, we'll send it to all our Republican friends and we'll spread it like wildfire so these people are gone because they need to sit there and be ousted. See you later. You don't want to work for us? That's fine. Go work for somebody else because you don't need to be in politics. I don't understand it, he said in a Monday phone interview. Correct. Neither do we. Neither does anybody. The hundreds of people in our podcast right now, live, don't sit there and get it either. The American people gave him a mandate. This is his team now. He needs the opportunity to put the people around him that are going to help him with his agenda. The reason why is because his agenda is to put America first. His agenda finally is to put all you great patriots ahead of all the other people that Democrats have been putting before you. Why? Because it's your damn country. That's why. It's your country. You're paying taxes. A president is sitting there and speaking on behalf of the American people, and those people that he puts forward aren't part of the deep state, which means they're average Joes just like all of us. I'm not trying to belittle them, but you know what I mean. And they're going to sit there and speak on behalf of the American people. You need to let this guy sit there and choose who he wants. He needs the opportunity to put the people around him that are going to get the help and his agenda done. Why? Because his agenda is the American people's agenda. Who are we to say that we know more about these people than Trump? Correct. And quite frankly, a lot of these politicians have sat there and done a really poor job of running things, both Republican and Democrat. So why don't the Republicans in office that sat there and got elected by the American people, the same American people that elected Donald Trump, why don't you get off your high horse and sit there and go, okay, things are going to change around here and it might affect you, but it's about the American people. It's not about you politicians. So finally wake up and see how things are done. I'm trying to be very PG right now. Trying to be very PG with my words. I went through the first process with Biden when I first got here, he said. There were 0 Democrats that voted against any of his nominees. 0. We got 3 or 4 of these nominees fighting to get all the Republican votes. They're fighting hard and they're having to go see senators more than once. It makes no sense. So you're telling me like Pete Hegseth is having to go to the Capitol to sit there and speak with Republican senators on getting their nomination? What? So now we have to sit here. Before we were fighting with the Democrat Party to get a freaking wall built. I caught myself. And now we have to sit there. Now we're fighting both Democrats and Republicans. Is that where we're at now? Who are these people? Hand to God, who are these? So I know it's not California because California is ran by Democrats. A bunch of psychos keep nominating a bunch of psychos. I say it's psycho because when you sit there and want to change and nothing changes and you moan and complain about the things that haven't changed, but you keep voting in the person and the party that sits there and doesn't allow things to change and has been attributing to the problem that you want to have said change. Yeah, that's a little bit psycho. It's a little bit insane is probably a better definition. Insanity. Because you keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And it sits there and we're just crumbling as a state. Finally, a lot of Americans woke up and did something a little bit different here on a national level, on a federal level, and voted in Donald Trump. And now we're fighting Republicans for this stuff. if you're in a red state, really, you know what, guys? Maybe we should just start doing this. I don't really ever do a call to action. Maybe we should sit there. Maybe we should sit there and call our representatives today. I really do mean, if you're in a red state, right? I'm saying this for you guys because what am I going to call my representative? These psychos that are senators, they're Democrats. I suppose I could call, they're going to sit there and hang up on me. But let's start calling these people. You know what I mean? How many of you, let's do a poll. How many of you are in a red state? Yes or no? Let's just, I think we should start doing this. You know what I mean? Why not? Dizzy's in Arkansas. Dizzy, though, Arkansas, I think, is red. I'd be curious if that's one of the senators that doesn't want to put Pete Hegseth. Look, we need Pete. We need everybody in there. We need Pete. We need Kash Patel, which I'll get to in one moment. Yeah, red. There we start calling them up. Don't feel too bad, Brad. I have Nancy Pelosi as my rep. Oh, God. Jesus. Pray for Hans. Shout out, pray for Hans. For some reason, I thought you were in Oregon, Dizzy. Where else we got everybody out? Terry Collins with the $5. Thank you so much. We love you, Brad. No, I love you guys and I love this community. I said this before, and you guys, look, I'm never going to take you for granted. And I hope that you know that I will always speak my mind and just be honest with you guys, as it should. But there's people that aren't, right? There's people that are bought off. They have to do things. I guess I could be bought off by you guys. We saw that before. You guys made me do something. I don't remember where I was going, but thank you, Terry. I appreciate it. You guys are great, and I love you guys too. Oh, I was saying I get all excited in the mornings when I do this, you know, because I wake up at like 4:30 in the morning to do it, and I don't go to bed. Like last night, I didn't go to bed till midnight. So I'm tired, but I'm not complaining. I'm just excited. This energy comes from excitement because I get to hang out with you guys. Ohio, yeah. So make phone calls, folks. Arizona, phone calls. Maybe I should put a list of the representatives from each state on my website. Maybe I'll make a note to myself. Maybe I should and we could just make phone calls because this is crap, man. This is crap, you guys, honestly. And you know what? I should have said this a long time ago. I don't want to be one of those people that moans and complains, but just doesn't. I'm being caught here, and I guess I'm exposing a sin, if that's what you want to call it. It's not really like a sin, but a hypocrite. Where it's like, you know what? Like maybe if I'm going to sit here and do a podcast, I better sit there and lead with my feet and not so much with my mouth. You know, maybe I should start going to these local meetings. And so, yeah, I got 70,000 followers. Yeah, I would like to speak my mind a little bit here and let you know what patriots are saying around the country. I think I got a little bit of a voice now to sit here and do things like that. Maybe I should sit there and do that as well. So. You're seeing reflections in real time, and that's what this show is about, by the way. You guys all been there, right? When you're fleshing something out, speaking this to a bunch of people that you start making, and you're like, hey, you know, maybe I need to fix this about myself. No, unfortunately, I'm from Red County in New York. Oh, God bless you, Rob. Shout out to the guy on the front lines. Elise Stefaniak is my senator. Oh, wait. Elise Stefaniak is your senator. Oh, Elise Stefaniak is great. Oh, never mind. You're not on the front lines. Get the hell out of here, Rob. Stolen valor. Dan from Washington State. Shout out to everybody in blue areas like me. So let me get to the I'm so sorry. I cracked myself up. Okay, well, here we're gonna do a little bit of rapid fire here. Guys, let me show you this. This is how far we got on our show today. Look at all this I have prepared still. This is what happens. Doge. Where are we? ISIS. Okay, here's another one. I just want to give you a shout out to Daniel Penny. Did be found not guilty. Black Lives Matter's making a resurgence. Okay, so Black Lives Matter came out and started losing their crap. Almost kind of hinting to go after white people, which was insane. But I find it funny that they're starting to storm the streets again, just right before Donald Trump's going to get elected. So Black Lives Matter is going to come back. The same Black Lives Matter that actually stole millions of dollars. The same Black Lives Matter that have like full-fledged Marxists as its leaders, like self-proclaimed. The same Black Lives Matter that bought mansions in predominantly white neighborhoods. It's really odd. The same Black Lives Matter that actually doesn't take any of their proceeds and actually fix up black neighborhoods. It's really weird. Do you know what I mean? You know, it'd be a great idea that I was thinking about. You have all these like terribly ran like low income areas, right? Like you look at the sidewalks, right? The pavement's all screwed up, or the grass isn't cut. It just looks really shoddy. You know what I mean? Why don't you sit there and give some of these kids a job, like an internship, like a government level internship? And you say, hey, you know what? We'll pay you $15 an hour for some hard labor. And you know what? You'll go out with a crew. You'll learn some labor and some skills. You'll paint a house. You'll edge some sidewalk. You know, you'll actually sit there, mow some lawns. You make a little bit of cash rather than selling drugs and dealing. You'll get paid more to sell drugs. But look, if you truly want to sit there and get out of the inner city, not a bad thing to have on your resume that you sat there and worked for the city of Bell or whatever. And, you know, you got yourself out of poverty like Thomas Sowell and a bunch of other people. Not a bad idea. I'm not for government paying off people, but if you wanted to start a nonprofit or something like that, Black Lives Matter, and, you know, fund something like that, that'd be a great idea to sit there and clean up your inner cities and get kids out of gangs and busy rather than sitting there selling drugs and shooting each other and maybe cleaning up the area that they live in. If they're so concerned about, this is my area, vato, this is my corner, homie, I tell you what, fool, like you better sit there and walk off, homes. This is my pavement. If you're so concerned about the tags and the area, you know what I mean, and you want it, it's all about yours, homie. You know what I'm saying? It's all about your area, fool. Like this is my territory. You better not step into it, fool. If you're so concerned about that area, then why don't you clean it up? They're tagging the pavement. If you're so concerned about that area, if like that's my place, fool, don't you step foot in it, homie. This is my area, homie. Like if that is your area, why don't you clean it up then? Just saying. I'm not wrong. Red Pill Royce, thank you so much for following me over at Rumble. I do get a notification on my watch. Every time you guys follow on Rumble, I get a notification. YouTube doesn't hook me up like that. Bato Brada, you guys, I got a lot of impersonations. You haven't seen half of them. You haven't seen half of them. You guys are too funny in the chat. All right. Damn, I wanted to get some more stuff. Well, you know what? Let's do this. We'll continue this. I'm not going anywhere, but I wanted to share a story with you guys since I'm kind of rambling and talking to the Patriots here. I wanted to share a story before we do end that really meant a lot to me yesterday. But I want to go ahead and give a shout out. We haven't done one of these in a while. You have here on your screen a sponsor. So with President Trump's historic victory, I need to ask parents to please listen up here. Now that President Trump is heading back to the White House, he said he wants to teach our kids to love our country. It's not being taught in the school system. They're teaching socialism is great. Communism is awesome. No. This needs to be read to kids. And the best place for them to start is to learn all about President Trump and his vision for America in his second term. That's why Mike Huckabee's team, we've plugged it before, put together the Kids Guide to President Trump. And to celebrate President Trump's victory, they are giving it away for free with fun illustrations and easy to follow content. If you said, Brad, did you say free? Yes, I said they're giving away free. This important guide teaches kids all about the President Trump's accomplishments during his first term and helps kids understand his goals for the second term. Mike Huckabee wants to send your family this free guide so you could teach your kids the truth. And I'm emphasizing truth. But please hurry because supplies are limited. You guys, these always go like hotcakes when I plug this stuff. That's free. So make sure you grab this now. It's a great gift, honestly, even for the holidays. Wrapping it up and give that to a Democrat's kid. To claim your free kids guide to President Trump right now, just visit kidstrumpguide.com. That's kidstrumpguide.com. Use the QR code in the on the screen there, and also links in the description for those on YouTube. A great resource. Something I just want to throw at you guys. I don't really share too many things that are like very sentimental to me, but there was a student that I had years ago, and very much into politics, conservative, knew that I did a show, and I don't talk about politics with my students, and I don't talk about my show. I don't talk about anything remotely around this social media. If somebody finds my social media, I actually end up blocking them if they're not 18. And so I handle myself completely different in at my work, obviously, as you should. So I don't talk about politics with anybody at work. So anyways, I was sitting there and my head was down. I was working on my stuff, and class was about to start, and the door opens, and I look up and I saw one of my former students, and I've been following him. We follow each other on Instagram. We'll kind of check in every once in a while. And man, it meant the world to me to see how well this guy's doing. It's only been like two years, maybe 2 or 3 years, but he was interning for the Trump administration for their campaign, and he was telling me odds are that he could hopefully most likely be a part of Donald Trump's administration. And to see somebody progress like that was somebody you formerly taught and you keep in line with, and just a very good young man, and Christian, follows his faith, good head on his shoulders, smart, and just very polite and respectful. I just wanted to share that with you because it really had a really big impact on me yesterday. Yeah, I was getting teary-eyed thinking about it. I'm really proud of him, and I don't even think he'll ever see this. Not that he needs to, but it's nice to see that you can make an impact on people's lives, and I was very thankful for that. And just seeing, and that's all I want as a teacher, is to see my students do well. You know what I mean? Not just in high school, but in life in general. And if he does see this, I'm very proud of him. And I texted him that I'm very proud of him. I don't want to show his picture and stuff like that and blast him on the internet, but if he ever sees, I'm very proud of him. He knows we do a show and stuff like that. But I want to share that with you guys. It was really meaningful to me. It meant a lot. So, Brad, you should be cashing in on the steal $9.99 worth of merchandise without charges of any kind. Fill out your studio. I don't know what you guys are talking about in the chat. I try to be sentimental and you guys are talking about other crap. Yeah, you know what? His parents taught him well, Lulu, to be honest. I just sat there and taught him statistics, which he knew he needed to know for politics. But I'm just proud that he's sitting there, hopefully has a job in the White House, a couple years out of high school, head on straight. Like, he's going to be a big influence to this country for sure. Just a good young man. I shouldn't even say young man. He's not that much. I'm 35, so he's not, 20-year-old kid. I guess I'm 15 years older than him. But yeah, just a good guy. I wanted to chat with you. It was really meaningful. It really, really was meaningful, man. Every once in a while, you get to see the fruit of your labor. That's the, you know what? Again, I just taught him statistics, but I think it's always helpful to have somebody behind you that wants to see you succeed, like is rooting for you. And I'm like that with all of you. I only want the best for all of you. And honestly, it's the same thing for all Americans. I just want the best for everybody. But for your students, you really are always there to help them succeed, even years after. If they were ever to reach out to me, I'd be there for them and help them. But really, that's a shout out to his parents. His parents did correct. They did right. They inculcated the correct values. They took their time with their kid and actually sat there and raised them correctly. He's not a gang member, right? He's sitting there going to school. He's going to university. He's working while he's going to university. That's an acknowledgement to the parents, not me. I just sat there and taught the guy statistics and built a good relationship with him. And I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful for him. But that's a shout out to the parents, because the parents are the number one educators, folks, not the teachers. You can make a difference in your own kid's life. Sure, a teacher can too, but shout out to them, man. It's time to come out of the closet already, Brad. Well, when we get bigger, we could build a studio, but this is what we're working with right now. This is what we're working with. You did more than statistics, obviously made a change for him to stay in touch. Yeah, that's true, Kreger. That's true. Really good guy. Well, if one day, yeah. Anyways, that's it. If you have any coffee left over, why don't you finish it? Cheers to all of you. I apologize for us not getting through the entire episode, but we'll have to clean this up later. Maybe do a evening podcast or something, or we'll just continue it tomorrow. But with that being said, God bless all of you. Take care of one another. Pay for this country. Call your representatives, please, and see and make sure that they're voting for all Trump's nominees and patriots. I'll see you tomorrow here on The Bald Brad Show. Take care.